shoes I have. You know, people who say I'm sad, so I'm going to go eat a piece of cake. No, 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 no. That's not me. I'm going to go buy a pair of shoes. Yes. So I love shoes. And so you're probably wondering what this is down here. Well, you're about to see. But purpose is like a well-fitted pair of shoes. When you have on a well-fitted pair of shoes, you can walk, you can run, you can run, you can step, you can climb, you can do all the things that you need to do because your shoes are fitting you well. But when you have on an ill-fitting pair of shoes, you can't operate like that. When you've got on ill-fitting shoes, and these shoes may be shoes that somebody gave you, and there's nothing wrong with hand-me-downs, but sometimes they don't fit. Sometimes they're too tight, sometimes they're too big, so it may not be your fault that your shoes don't fit well. But it also may be your fault that your shoes fit well because you bought them because you just had to have them and they didn't really have your size, so you tried to either make them fit with a shoe pad or you took them to the shoe shop and asked the shoe repairman to stretch them. I know all about that. So that's your fault that your shoes don't fit. But your shoes don't fit, so you can't let something get in behind you. You can't run. You can't run. You may wear them a few times, but they're going to start sitting in your closet because every time you look at them, you're going to say, they'll make my feet hurt. I can't wear, last time I wore them, my toes was hurt, Or, girl, they gave me a blister on the back. I know they bad, but oh, my feet were hurting so bad. I couldn't even enjoy my dessert. We had to leave early because my feet were hurt. Those shoes, those are ill-fitting shoes. And so I want to show you a couple of things. Y'all mind if I take my shoes off? Just okay. All right, so you can clearly see that these shoes are too big for me. But I put them on because I wanted to. That's how we act sometimes when we want to do things that are out of our purpose. Because I wanted to. I wanted to smoke some weed. I wanted to cheat on my spouse. And I wanted to lie to my parents. Now I'm just out of order. But I wanted to put them on. That's out of your purpose. And you know, when I picked these up, I knew they were too big for me. Sometimes we do things that nobody has to tell you that you're out of purpose. But you did it because you wanted to. Shame on you. Now, sometimes you can put shoes on. So I'm going to slide in these. Let's see. From far away, these look like they fit. But really, when you turn to the side, they don't fit. They don't fit. They're not really comfortable. And see, sometimes that's how it is. God wants to stretch us in our purpose, but we're afraid. God has told us that you don't like your job. And I've given you an entrepreneurial spirit. And every time you pray about that job and ask me to sustain you, I tell you I'll bless you if you step out. But you don't want to do it because your faith is weak. And so you don't want to walk in what God has already told you. If you'll step out in it, I'll bless you. So you walking in they feel like they fit, but they really don't because you're uncomfortable, because you're scared. You're scared to trust God. So you're not walking in your purpose. Now, sometimes these shoes right here, these are really cute. Y'all think these are cute, don't you? Y'all do, I know. I'm about to put these on. Now, sometimes we're walking out of purpose because we're concerned more about what other people think than what God has told us to do. We will stand and we will partake in the joke that we know is not godly, but we're concerned with what other people think about us. So we're not trying. Or we will not say excuse me for a moment, let me say my grace. We'll wait for a pause in the conversation. Bow our head real quick. because we don't want people to know that we serve the true and living God. We don't want people to know that we love God like that. So we'll be more concerned with what other people think about us than what God says about us. And so we're what? We're walking out of our purpose. Now, these shoes right here these are fly. These are my son's shoes right here. These. And there's nothing wrong with these shoes. I like them. But I just told you, they're not mine. These are not mine. Sometimes we're out of purpose. It's not because we're doing anything that's wrong, anything that's illegal, anything that's immoral. It's just not what God said for us. God said, I anointed you to play the violin, and your gift is going to bring you before kings. But you want to be a teacher. Being a teacher is a noble and it is a needed profession. But if that is not what God told you to be, then you need to be what He told you to be. There's nothing wrong with these shoes. They look fabulous on my son, but they are not for me. Now, these babies right here, I love them. I love them. When I saw them, I had to have them. I had to have them. Do you understand? I could not leave the store without them. I could not wait for them to get my correct size in. So I cannot really walk in them, but I had to have them. So sometimes, ladies, I'm just going to talk to us. You're ready to get married. Your boyfriend has proposed to you, and your friends like him. Your friends like him because you haven't told them about the abuse that you have suffered at his hand. You ready to get married, and you want to have a baby, and you convinced that when you get married, the abuse is going to stop. These shoes are bad. However, I should have left them in the store, and you need to leave him where he is. We need to stay in our purpose, because I can't do anything. Let something get behind me, I'm gonna have to stop and kick these off. I can't shout, I can't praise God. I can barely move around right here. And I love these shoes, but I cannot operate in them. When you are outside of your purpose, you cannot operate. Now, when I put my nice shoes on back over here, I can operate. I can operate. I can run. I can jump. I can dance. I can clap. I can do all of those things. I can be everything that God called me to be. I'm anointed when I'm in my purpose. You see what I'm saying? You gotta walk. You've got to step in your purpose. When we have on the right shoes, we can do more than girl wash our face. I know some of y'all know what I'm talking about. There's a popular motivator out there right now that says, girl wash your face. That's her line for talking to people about women, about things that are the negativity that we face and being burnt out. She says, girl wash your face. And then another motivator has come and she said, girl get up, with things that challenges, the things that we face in life. But I want to tell you that when you have on the right pair of shoes, when you are walking in your purpose, you can do more than wash your face. You can do more than get up, but you can be a girl who is on the move. You can be a girl, you can be a woman, you can be a person that is about God's business, because when you are walking a purposeful walk, you are walking a powerful walk. Something I've learned about being in your purpose is when you are walking in your purpose, You are no longer just a thermometer. You know, a thermometer, the only thing the thermometer can do is check and tell you the temperature. But when you're walking in your purpose, you become a thermostat. You can change the temperature. You can change the environment because you have power. You ever met those people that they just walk in a room and it seems like they can change the room, they can bring peace, or there can be a lot of confusion going on, and they can just come in and they can bring peace, they can bring authority, they can speak through, and they can walk through a situation. You think, wow, those are people that are walking in their purpose. And that's what purpose is. It's how your life affects and changes other people's lives for better. So in the text that we read, we talked about Esther. So you all probably know the story of Esther. So Vashti was the queen, and Vashti was beautiful. She was fine. And so the king was having a party, and the king says, y'all go get my beautiful wife Vashti and tell her to come because I want everyone to see how beautiful she is. Now, side note, if I'm married to the king and he says come because I want people to see how pretty you are, I'd be like, honey, I'm coming right now. But Vashti was not feeling it. She decided she wasn't coming. So Vashti does not come, and the king is upset about this. Now, the king of Persia at that time, when you read the book of Esther, you see he is very, he's like a king who can't make his own decisions. He's always leaning on his advisors. And so after the party and after Vashti doesn't come, his advisors go to him and say, King, he said, you know your girl, you know Vashti embarrassed you. And we're okay with that. But the problem is, all the other wives in the kingdom know Vashti didn't come when you asked her to come. So we feel like you need to make an example of Vashti so that we won't have problems with our wives. So you need to get a new queen. The king says, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I'm going to get a new queen. And so all the single maidens, they come before the king and they go through the purification process. And Esther, who is a Jew, who's very beautiful, goes through the process. And the king, Esther finds favor with the king, and so the king selects Esther to be the queen. Now, Mordecai, who is a Jew, is Esther's uncle. Haman is one of the king's advisors. Mordecai will not bow to Haman. Haman gets all in a tizzy because Mordecai will not bow. So he comes up with this plan. I'm going to get rid of Mordecai, but what else can I do? He's a thief too, because what he wants to do is he wants to take all of the property that belongs to the Jews. So he says, we're going to, king, you got these Jews and they are populating, and we need to get rid of all of them. The king, again, because he doesn't really think for himself, he says, okay, that sounds good too, so do that. So Mordecai tells Esther, Esther, this is what is going on. I need you to talk to the king. And so that's where the text that we read comes in. Because Mordecai's gone, he sent word to the queen, go talk to the king, go talk to your hubby, and tell him that he doesn't need to kill all the Jews. Now Esther says, Uncle, look, I know I'm the queen, but I can't just go to the king and say, hey, there's protocol. And protocol is, unless he calls me, I can't come. Mordecai says, excuse me, do you think that just because you're the queen, if you do not take this opportunity to help, if you do not walk in your purpose right now, do you think that the Jews will not survive another way, but you won't? That's what Mordecai says. And I was like, Lord, the Jews were going to survive anyway. And then I started thinking, well, absolutely the Jews were going to survive some kind of way because Jesus still had to come. So the Jews, there was no way the Jews were going to get wiped out because Jesus still had to come down through the line of time. So Mordecai tells Esther, either you help, think about what your purpose is.